All right, check it out, guys. Just turned on the internet machine. Typed in Sixers. Bob, I swear to God, bro. I will drop you off at a random farm. Just let me record a video. Turned on the internet machine, typed in Sixers, and lo and behold, an article about Tobias Harris is right there. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just hit record before I even read it. Sixers Tobias Harris, regarded as one of the more interesting free agents. Now, once we read this, we can kind of come up with why they put the word interesting in the headline versus a encyclopedia, a dictionary of other basketball terms. I mean, if you're using the word interesting to describe a basketball player, out of all of the basketball terms you could use, there's a reason for that. But anyway, check it out. Let's just read the article. Kai Carlin on Sixers Wire, USAtoday.com. I don't even really know what that means. I don't know what the internet is anymore. Is USA Today a newspaper or like a website where people go to for their news, but then there's like sports sections of it and like Sixers Wire. Like, what is the internet anymore? Are people going on the internet? Are people going to USAtoday.com and clicking on the sports section? I'm being serious. Does that really happen? I don't really understand. But anyway, shout out to Kai Carlin. I like him. I've interacted with him on Twitter before. I read some of his stuff before. Good dude. Is Sixers Tobias Harris regarded as one of the more interesting free agents? Let's just see what it says. Just for fun. Ain't shit to do. NBA Finals Game 1 tomorrow. Here's what he says. And it's cropped over the side of it for some reason. There we go. The offseason frenzy in 2024 is going to be an important one for the Philadelphia 76ers. President of Basketball Operations Daryl Morey will be looking to make the necessary upgrades around the roster in order to contend in the East. We'll be looking to make the necessary upgrades. Oh, was he looking to make the necessary upgrades last year, year before? Yeah. Guess what? Every GM of every sports team in the world is looking to make the necessary upgrades for their team in the offseason. Some succeed, some don't. Not a video about Daryl Morey, but there will be a lot more about him this offseason, I'm sure. Oh my God, we got an alarm going off, bro. With that being said, one free agent for the Sixers who will be interesting to look at is Tobias Harris. Philadelphia acquired Harris at the 2019 deadline and then signed him to a 5-year, $180 million deal that offseason. Since then, Harris has put up solid numbers. Is this really an article advocating for Tobias Harris as a free agent? Let me not argue against it. Because the only thing I want is the Sixers to not sign him, right? So if other teams haven't really watched him enough and they're gonna go sign him, please do. Since then, Harris has put up solid numbers: 17.6 points, 6 rebounds, 3.1 assists, 37% from deep as a member of the Sixers. However, due to the nature of the contract and the constant role changes for him in Philadelphia, it is very unlikely the Sixers bring Harris back. Okay. Kai, you know that's not true. And you just said they signed him to a $180 million max contract, and then he put up solid numbers averaging 17 points per game. Describing his stats always has to do with the contract. You can't say, yeah, but aside from the contract, he put up solid numbers. No, his numbers, the adjective along with the numbers, good numbers, bad numbers, solid numbers, okay numbers, contributing number, whatever, have to do with the contract. Max contract, 17 points per game. Do you know who averaged 19 points per game one season? Tony fucking Roten, dude. 17 points per game is not solid numbers in the NBA on a max contract. Okay, Kai? So I don't know where you came up with that. 17 points per game on 36% from three is terrible numbers on a max contract. If y'all can't tell, I just woke up from a nap. I already yelled at my cat. I opened the internet. I'm yelling about Tobias Harris. It is what it is. We hit record. We're putting it on YouTube. So the numbers apparently are solid, but however, due to the nature of the contract and the constant role changes for him in Philadelphia. Okay, I don't like that one either. I don't like where people blame Tobias Harris deficiencies on, well, his role keeps changing. Well, they brought in Harden, so Tobias's role changed. And they brought in, they had Ben at first at point guard, and Tobias Harris' role changed. Do you know why Tobias Harris' role always changes based on whoever else is on the team? Because he stinks, man. Because he's not good. Do you understand? Good players, roles don't change based on other players because they have an impactful role themselves because they're an impactful player. A player who's not impactful but is being forced into the system because of the contract, his role is always going to change because he doesn't actually fit around anybody, but you have to play him because of the contract. That's why his role changes. His role should have changed to traded or benched a long time ago. But with all of this being said, any team out there that wants to sign him, he's really good. He's a really good role player. He can give you a lot. Please just get him out of here. His role, constant role changes. It's very unlikely the Sixers bring Harris back. Okay, due to the nature of the contract and the constant role changes, it's very unlikely the Sixers bring him back. Well, the contract's over, so the max contract can't have anything to do with whether or not the Sixers bring him back. They paid him that money. If you want to bring him back, you give him a new contract. These are two reasons that have nothing to do with why the Sixers aren't going to bring him back. Do you know why the Sixers aren't going to bring Tobias Harris back? Because the entire city of Philadelphia despises him. Got to the point where he was booed when they announced his name. I'm talking Nelson Aguilar vibes, bro. You can't bring him back. That's why. It has nothing to do with the numbers, the contract, role changes. I want to see. I'm not even mad about this, by the way. I'm just interested on how you write an article and whether or not he's going to say something good about him. He tried. Didn't work so far. Here we go. Bleacher Report lists Harris as one of the more interesting free agents. Oh, Bleacher Report, of course. The Thunder, Pistons, Hornets, Raptors, and Spurs, and even the Magic could justify tossing $15 to $20 million per season at Tobias Harris. And the options broaden substantially if we include non-cap space teams that could offer the full mid-level exception. With bigger names on the market and the overpaid label of the past dogging him, Harris feels like a forgotten man in 2024 free agency. Do you know why he's a forgotten man in 2024 free agency? Because he's not good. Also, has nothing to do with the past contract. The contract is over. If Tobias Harris was a good player who impacted a team and a team didn't end up being literally better in every statistical category with him on the bench versus him on the floor, he would be being talked about as a free agent. He's not being talked about as a free agent because he's not good. Don't be surprised if when we reassess the offseason in a few months, the team that signs him rates as one of the big winners. I'm not doing this, bro. Bro, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this, bro. I'm not doing this, dude. I'm not doing this, man. What are we doing? Kai, how did your fingers even make contact with the keys in a way that resulted in you typing that? Don't be surprised if when we reassess the offseason in a few months, the team that signs Tobias Harris rates as one of the big winners. You know what? I just woke up from a nap, like I said, and you know what, Kai? Thank you. Thank you for a good laugh, bro. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I could have put on some stand-up comedy. I could have watched Theo Von podcast. You know, I could have watched Bad Boys 2. I could have watched a Seth Rogen movie. But no, I got a nice laugh from a Sixers Wire article about Tobias Harris. So thank you for that. It's unfortunate that Harris was hurt by public opinion. Oh my God. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. Harris was hurt by him sucking. Here we go blaming the fans again. Tobias Harris was hurt by public opinion? Y'all, this is why Ben Simmons turned into what he turned into. Because you motherfuckers constantly made excuses for the guy. One can say what they want about the contract and everything else that comes with it, but one cannot question his willingness to do what was necessary and the toughness he showed while a member of the Sixers. One cannot question his willingness to do what was necessary. Yeah, guess what? I can find any basketball player in the world who would be willing to do what's necessary to contribute to an NBA team and not be good enough. You don't get credit for being willing to do what's necessary. Hey, man, we need someone to play small forward on our NBA team. I'll try it. Oh, he deserves a contract because of his willingness. No, he's not. What? Toughness. Kai Carlin, listen to me. Did you watch a single Sixers game all season? Toughness? The guy absolutely shies away from contact every chance he gets. I've never seen a 6'9" player play softer than Tobias Harris. I've never seen so many floating fadeaway layups just to not break a nail from a player more than Tobias Harris. Actually, Ben Simmons. How did you even use the word toughness when talking about Tobias Harris, bro? It will be interesting to see what happens with Harris in the upcoming free agent market. You know what? This offered us absolutely nothing, but it was fun. It was a good laugh. And why not have a good old Tobias Harris rant to kick off this offseason? This is absolutely the most ridiculous article I've ever read in my entire life. I'll talk to you guys very soon, man. What the fuck?